Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today we are carrying on with the series that came to me in the middle of the night to go through my deck collection and to pull out decks that represent the energy of each of the astrology signs. And today we're exploring Sagittarius. And I got to tell you, I don't have a ton of Sag in my chart, but I love my Sag people. I have so many Sagittariuses in my life, family, friends, ex-boyfriends, the works. And I love me my Sages. So let's get to it and see what we've got in terms of Sag energy. And you can tell me if you agree with me or not. All right, let's get to it. So the first card that I chose, card deck that I chose, is the Unveiled Tarot from Jessie Lonergan. And here's the thing. When we're talking about Sagittarius energy, these people are dreamers. They are travelers. They are lifelong learners. They want to learn either in a traditional school setting or they want to learn out and about in the world in the school of life. They call it like they see it. There's no holding back. And in some cases, I mean, they're always honest, but in some cases, they're brutally honest. And so giving some thought to that, I was like, what decks in my collection would fit that? And the Unveiled Tarot stood out to me in a really big way. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this deck, it's been around, it's pretty popular. It's got a sort of a beautiful hardcover guidebook, which is really nice. For those of you who aren't familiar with this deck, it is like truth. It's truth in a box. It's sometimes the harsh truth. And it took me a while to purchase this deck. When I first started seeing it, I actually started seeing it in reviews, other deck reviews. And I was like, the imagery usually isn't my jam. The coloring isn't my jam, but why am I drawn to this? And I, of course, like everyone else, was drawn to this incredible visionary concept where we have time travel going on. We have the past and the present, or we have the present and the future that is represented through this rectangle, which gives you a window into what else is really going on here. What is the underlying layer or the direction that we're going. And I mean, it's brilliant because you're recognizing, okay, there's a lot that's going on here. So 9 of Wands, we see the traditional 9 of Wands, the guy is standing there. He's standing tall. He's standing firm. He doesn't necessarily look wounded or tired, but he's standing guard in this particular depiction. And, he's focused not at us. He's focused in a different direction. And the question that you have is, okay, what is he looking at? Well, now we get a sneak peek into the future version of this person. This is what he's doing in the past. Well, now it's changed into barbed wire and he's holding some kind of rifle or shotgun and he's wearing a uniform. So soldier or law enforcement of some kind. So it's giving you the truth and the peek into something new and different. The moon energy, we're seeing that she's dreaming, right? There's a dreaming thing that's going on. Yes, we're seeing the dog and the wolf baying at the moon. We're seeing the lobster. I think this is a lobster instead of the crab. It's got the pillars. It's got the essence of the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot in it. But it gives you this window into truth. 7 of Swords. This one always cracks me up. Somebody who's going in, feels like politician kind of energy, somebody who's talking out of both sides of their mouth, someone who is like Pinky, crossing his fingers like Jinx, like, okay, I don't really mean it. I'm swearing on this book, to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, but I'm not really intending to do that, right? I feel like this is a very Sagittarius energy deck. Somebody who's going to call out the reality. This guy thinks he's getting away with something. Well, Sagittarius is going to say, no, we see you. We see you. We understand what it is that's going on. The Lover's card. Sagittarians are also extremely passionate in their energy and in their love and in their pursuits of, happiness and joy. And what we're seeing here, two individuals who aren't paying attention to each other. They're on their phones, they're tuning out the world. Who knows if they're already a couple or if they're complete strangers. But what's really going on inside is this is what they're really wanting. This is what they're really desiring. Maybe they're desiring it from one another. Maybe they're just desiring it in general. But how are they going to get there if they're not paying attention, right? So I really love this. Like, look at it, a very direct, explicit image that we have a dissected frog, right? Someone like me, I'm like, I don't like that because I don't like animals in peril and, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it hits the point home, right? It gets the point across. This one's huge, Three of Cups energy. She's like, woohoo, we partied and it was fantastic. But had I known then what I know now, would I have actually agreed to it? Maybe not, because now I got a big mess to clean up, right? Five of Cups, the grief, the loss. This is what the statue looked like back in the day, in its heyday. But now this is what it looks like, right? Loss, grief. Page of Pentacles. This is the vision I see. This is what the rock wants to become, and I just need to chisel it out. 10 of Swords. They're all at a party laughing, and this woman is laughing as well, and somebody's talking about her. Someone's stabbing her in the back. So this is definitely, I want to say, a great deck that embodies the characteristics of that Sagittarius bluntness. Like, I'm not going to let you get away with anything. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, I'm going to call you out on it. If you're lying, I'm going to call you out on it. If you've got a decision to make, I'm going to point out all of the options, not just the ones that you want to discuss or you want to talk about. And I'm not necessarily going to do it in an ugly way, although sometimes that can happen too. But really, I do it because I want what's best for you. I want you to understand what you're getting into. I want you to make decisions that are based on your happiness, but also based on reality. Sagittarius is, yes, they're dreamers, but they also dream from the place of reality. They can dream big and they can, create all sorts of different things, but they really are from that space of, here's my reality now. I can dream myself out of this reality and into another reality, but it's always based in this being what is right now. Yes, I might want to change it, and I absolutely can change it. They're not defeatist. They're not saying they can't change it. They're just at a place where they're saying, let's be real. Let's talk about what's really going on. Let's not beat around the bush. So that is the Unveiled Tarot, which I think is a great one. Now, the second deck that I chose for Sagittarius is the Mood deck. And all of my Sagittarius people have an irreverent, kind of dry, sometimes almost dark sense of humor. And so I get along with them very well because, I have a similar sense of humor to that. And when I saw this Mood deck, OMG, I can't believe that I had never heard of it before. So it's by Natalie Meraki, a disgustingly relatable tarot deck. And this to me is just very Sagittarius because it's extremely irreverent. It just calls it like it is. Shiny new shiz. Somebody wake up that sleepy hoe so I can go to town and get my new skin suit. I mean, it's hilarious. Oh, look, another rabbit hole. Retreat yourself. So again, Sagittarius is, everybody's a little bit different, but I don't feel like they, in general, take themselves overly seriously. And I feel like that's the kind of the energy that this deck presents. Is life is what it is. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. But here we are, and this is the reality of things. Diligently filling orders for the Dark Lord. I love that. That just makes me giggle, especially because I'm a Harry Potter fan. They're watching. Wake up, sleepy hoes. It's time to be judged. So there's that irreverence. There's that adding humor to everything. Sometimes they can be a little sarcastic in their approach. Top boy of Mind Bullets, Trivia Night champion. So I really felt like, and I don't mean to say that, Sagittarians don't have a heart or anything like that. Of course they do. Absolutely they do. 150%. And they're going to be there no matter what it is that you need. They're going to be there. They're going to help you to figure it out. And it might even be a really sticky situation, and they're the ones that are going to, find the solution and all of it. They're just going to be real about it. They're not going to sugarcoat what's transpiring. And I feel like they're even going to bring a little bit of humor to the situation, simply because that's how they address the world. They recognize that there's so much more than meets the eye to any given situation. And, they're going to help you. They're just going to kind of help you from that lens. Now, for the most part, they can read a room. Some other signs, not so much. They definitely can read a room. And so I feel like, this card deck, maybe not so much, can read a room, but this is for those times when I want to say it's not so serious. And maybe, you as the recipient of their guidance, their love, their support, you need to not take yourself so seriously either, or to understand that, there are brighter days ahead, and this too will pass. Because I feel like that's really the lesson and the approach of and the beauty of a Sagittarius is that they hold your hand through it all, and they tell you this is going to get better. I promise. I swear. The third deck that I chose here is an oracle deck called Magical Dimensions by Light Star. I don't even remember where I got this deck from. I've had it for a long time. It's I'm pretty sure I got it at a time when decks were in the kind of hybridic, like they were in the process of transitioning from the old style Hay House, 4 authors that do the oracle decks, into a more modern approach. And you can tell, the size of the box, the size of the guidebook. I mean, it's very impractical. It's huge. It's pretty. The deck pictures are bigger than the actual card, the cards themselves. But it gives you information. Hard to store. But let's just sort of take a look. I chose this. Okay, so first of all, let's just take a look at the back of the deck. And sorry, there's it's very shiny, so very reflective. But I feel like, Sagittariuses are also very deep thinkers. They are very reflective. So, I'm not always a fan of the shiny cardstock. Here we are. Beautiful energies. It's almost a kaleidoscopic feel to it. It is reversible in a lot of ways. Let's just sort of take a peek at this imagery. Emergence, creation, resurrection, magician. I often see Sagittarians in my life being the orchestrators and the magicians of their life, stepping into the magic of what can be. Oneness, balance, patience, divine masculine energy. They're colorful people, at least the ones that I've known. And believe me, I've known a lot of Sagittarius people, and I've been close to a lot of Sagittarians. So I do feel somewhat, I wouldn't say I'm an expert because I've never lived with one. Actually, no, I lie. My mother is a Sagittarius, so I absolutely have lived with one. I lived with one for a really long time. What am I talking about? But from my perspective now, as an adult, I've not lived with a Sagittarius, but I have been in friendships and relationships with Sagittarians. And I mean, I chose this because this is like their travel, their higher wisdom, their higher knowledge, their higher learning. They're always looking for a spiritual angle. How can I get higher? How can I understand my purpose in the world? Why am I even here? Why did I even choose to come here on this planet? And this deck in particular really shares a lot of that information because it is a little fantastical. Magical Dimensions. It's a magical deck. It's based on energy. You've got this sort of collage style artwork, but it also gives you, some really helpful messages. I like that it has the chakras incorporated here. I've never met a Sagittarius who wasn't interested in color from the way that they dress, color on the walls of their home or their apartment, opening to new and different places on the planet. You know what I mean? Like every card represents a different place. This is very galactic in nature, and they do really think outside the box. They're cosmic and galactic in their approach. Every destination, they'll travel the globe But they're also the type that in meditation, they're going to travel all sorts of places. You know, they're going to go visit the dragons. They're going to go visit Atlantis. They're going to go visit, Alpha Centauri if they really want to, right? Here we've got aliens, galactic guidance coming through, star family assistance, cooperation. So this is a great deck that really, I want to say, embodies the adventurous soul of a Sagittarius and gives great guidance and information, transformation, metamorphosis, synchronicity, the unexpected. Gives great guidance and information, just like a typical Sagittarius does. And it keeps it really direct. We've got the beauty, we've got the image that makes the most sense, that shows their adventurous side, shows all of the different facets and where they've gotten their wisdom from because they've traveled, and they give you a message that is clear cut and concise. It makes sense. You don't have to guess at what it's trying to say. Exploration, boldness, unknown, and limitless. So I love this deck for my Sages. And my final deck for this video, I just couldn't resist, is the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2. More motivation for your creative maniac mind. And this is Rage Create. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know this deck well, because I use it all the time. I use it for my transformational tarot videos. I use it in my Winged Wisdom Oracle videos. I just use it all the time. I've been using it ever since I got it. And it's funny, it's the second deck. I have the first deck in my wish list and I just haven't purchased it. And I don't know why I haven't purchased it, because I know I would use it all the time, but here we are. So I drink libations of high vibrations. These are very simple oracle cards, but look at the message on the back. When shit gets crazy, stay away from toxic distractions that might drown out your high vibrations. You have magic doing cartwheels inside your gut, waiting on your permission to come out and play. Release any doubt attempting to sabotage your creativity. Kick your resistance gremlins in the teeth. Most of your worries will never happen, so do not give them power over you. Taking one small step will help propel you through anything life sends your way, even when the cookie monster steals your cookies. If you only drink libations of high vibrations, you'll never end up face down, pants down in the bushes. And this guy makes me think of like a really frustrated Yoda, I think because of the, sort of the ears that are coming out of his head. But when I connect with this deck, I feel like this is a Sagittarius giving me guidance, right? It's like guidance that kind of kicks me in the ass, but they're not wrong. It's the right guidance. It's the right information. Plus there's that galactic energy with it. Every card takes you to a different place or a different frequency, a different level. This is great. I creatively create my creations. I am brilliant, worthy, and oozing with star power. I am authentically and unapologetically me. As I follow my wishing heart, I encourage others to start. I rock out to knock my blocks out. It's a very empowering deck, and I feel that Sagittarians by nature are naturally, they're ruled by Jupiter. They're naturally going to empower you to be all that you can be, to be as big and bold and to go big or go home as you can possibly imagine. I'm here to create positive change for myself and others. I forgive those who have harmed me in the past and peacefully but powerfully detach from them. I am deeply loved and I deeply love me. I continuously explore mysterious doors that always lead to more. I lead the best fucking life ever. I believe in miracles because I am a miracle. The magnitude of my power is always in the now. I store in my body that which I seek. As my lighthouse shimmers for others, it lights my own way too. May the sacredness of my work bring healing, light, and renewal to all. So this, guys, is Sagittarius in a box. Right here. You want Sagittarius guidance. You want to understand what a Sagittarius would say to you about any given situation. Here it is. right here definitely embodies all of that deliciousness and that beauty of the Sagittarius energy. Yeah, loving that. That is our sweet ass affirmations for you. All right, guys. So that is our Sagittarius deck exploration. Sort of the sign language of that Sagittarius energy, and it was so fun to share this stuff with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to put some your thoughts in the comments here about any of my deck selections if it was something that you enjoyed. Maybe you have a deck suggestion for me for that Sagittarius that you love in your life, or maybe you are a Sagittarius and you're like, no, I call bullshit on this. Would love to hear from you guys in that regard. Otherwise, as always, sending you guys so much love and support. Really excited to announce that I now, after 11 years of being on YouTube, finally have the ability to go a little deeper with you guys and be able to connect in a more consistent, creative way using the join button. And check out the 3 membership tiers that I have for you. Become one of my fabulous phoenixes, and let's do this wild ride called life together. I'm sending you guys so much love and support until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life. I wish you well. We'll see you on the flip side, and take care and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.